to text you. See
Oh,
if
I
you were
was
able to make it.
bringing my kids home from
Yeah.
CPD.
Oh,
I'm here.
no, there you are.
Yeah.
I want to go text you.
Sorry, I'm here.
No problem. All right. So we'll get right into it. Let me just pull up the agenda quick. Here we go. Okay, cool. All right. So what is it? October 2nd, EDC meeting. Haven't had one of these in a few months. I guess I'll start off by introducing Pam Harding. Todd Miller left, I don't know, a few months ago, and Pam has recently started in early September.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess maybe give a quick introduction to yourself.
Sure. Hi, my name's Pam Harding. I started September 5th as a town planner here in Bolton. I come from 26 years of planning experience. Originally started out my career in the city of Worcester, and then I served as a town planner slash conservation agent in the town of Holden for 15 years, where I was followed. Then I was appointed as director of the Planning and Community Development Department, where I served for 6 years. Then I went back to the city of Worcester as chief planner for 1 year, and now I'm in Bolton. So that sums up my experience.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we definitely, from everybody who interviewed Pam, they were very excited to get her there.
Where do you live, Pam?
I live in Worcester.
Okay. Little different between Bolton and Worcester.
Yeah, but not too different then.
Yeah, that's
yeah, Rebecca, right?
Yes.
Thrown into the fire, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. That's okay though.
Meeting going, but we've had one spot open, and I know Amy and I have been we haven't really got a ton of interest. It's been advertised, but we talked to Kristen DeJean, who, as people know, runs the Bolton, Mass community page. That's like one small thing she does, but she's all over social media in Bolton and the area and the region, and she has lots of connections to other groups, and she's written for papers. And maybe she could give a little bit of her history if you're at your phone now, Kristen.
Yeah, sure. Again, I apologize that I'm not on camera. I will try next time to be on camera. So basically my background is television news. I did television news for years ago, and then I got into print more recent years, and that's where I am. But I also got into social media, because to me it's like social media is sort of like a television, like it's very immediate like that. So I kind of gravitated to that, and now I run the Bolton Facebook group, the Neshoba High School Facebook group, the Bolton parents. There's probably about 5 or 6 of them. We did the Bolton Mass unofficial because people were trying to share from groups, and with Facebook groups that are closed, you can't share. So I created one of those page for people to share things that needed to be like this arts, open studio, things like that. Same thing with Backyard Bolton. I've been sharing that type of stuff. So that's in a nutshell what I do. And I do try to connect with the newspaper. In fact, she wants me to possibly do some, she needs some people. And I think I could do possibly some business profiles, if she needs somebody to fill up space someday. And also, the Bolton Access Television. I try to connect everybody to try to kind of integrate the local media, because it helps. And I got involved in local Facebook because my kids were in drama, and they put me in charge of the drama program. As far as I chaired, I was the chair of the promote theater, and whatever other cause might be helpful, Backyard Bolton. So anyway, that's my background. And anyway, from that, I'll let you guys continue meeting. And if anyone asks me a question, I'm
sure.
to the
Yeah, like I was saying, I think if we could somehow capture 1% work that it would be a huge gain for us. So I'm very happy that she's willing to help us out. You know, it'll be
Yeah,
great.
I think so.
I was going to
Yeah.
say a lot of what Kristen
Great.
does is you already are doing like promoting businesses, things
Right.
happening. So I think it's definitely got a lot of synergy in what we're already doing. So
Right.
yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay. So, I mean, I guess the way process-wise it goes is we vote to recommend a new member to the Board of Selectmen, and then they just kind of stamp it with official seal at their meeting. So I'm comfortable with just having a vote now.
Yes.
So I guess I'll make a motion to make Kristen DeJean a member of the EDC.
Second.
Oh, a third.
Yeah.
Aye.
We don't need to do a roll call vote. We could just do a all in favor.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. Great. Unanimous.
Great.
So yeah, Pam, if you could forward that to the Board of Selectmen, and they'll put it on their future agenda just to make it official.
Yes, I will do that.
Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
you're trapped now, Kristen.
You'll
Well,
love it.
hopefully.
We're pretty laid back.
Yeah, it's super laid back.
Yeah, I feel like it, as a resident, obviously it helps everybody to promote the town in general.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely great. I mean, and what I tell everybody who kind of joins is, I mean, there's so much that we could be doing, and it's just a matter of getting the volunteer time and people to do it. And I'm sure you have a lot of ideas on top of things we're doing to promote businesses and whatnot. So it's great,
Yeah.
looking forward to it. So moving on, discuss Backyard Bolton. As you know, we were originally going to do it the third one of the year, September 16th. Pam, if you don't know, basically it started out as like a farmer's market, but then we realized that like all the local farms, they didn't really want to leave their farm stand. And if they were going to go to a farmer's market, it'd be more towards the city. So it ended up kind of more be like a small business in-home type fair market. And then we get like 30 to 40 vendors each time from Bolton, probably about 2/3 from Bolton and 1/3 from outside Bolton. And I'd say we probably get, I don't know, 500 to 700 or 800 people coming through. So it's been pretty good. This is our 6th year doing it. And we typically do 3 a year because we don't think we could support like an every week type thing with our like smaller region. But typically people look forward to it. And so we've been keeping it going. But our third one was supposed to be September 16th. And that was kind of the day of the alleged hurricane, which didn't really end up being a hurricane for us, but enough people were backing out that we just figured we would postpone. And so the postponed date is October 14th. So I'm kind of driving forward with that, trying to get vendors and stuff. I've kind of been on the down low with it for the last 2 weeks, but I got to pick it back up now and make sure everything's lined up. So basically we need people from the EDC to, drop by for an hour or so if they could, just to kind of like make sure everything's good. But really me and Amy are usually there, and it's kind of run your own thing. It's just kind of the initial start when we getting people to their spots. And then like Friday night, typically we go by and we put out these flags to direct people to where they should be on the spots. I mean, that's kind of the most work. And then really it's just hanging out, talking to people. It's really not much.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they have questions, but it's pretty run yourself at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, I just asking, I mean, you don't have to make any commitments tonight, and I'll talk to Craig and Sean Serrell, who's in here, just if you could drop by for an hour or so, just to kind of like, especially at the start and the end, because that's when it gets a little chaotic. Sometimes people are jockeying for getting their cars and spots and to get up onto wherever their spots are. And like some new people sometimes need help figuring out where their spot is. But once it's going, it's pretty easy. We switched to 10 to 2, which we were originally doing 10 to 1. always felt like maybe we needed a little bit more, and I think that went pretty well. So that's what it is. I don't think there's too much more to say. I've been doing, for marketing wise, I try to get it in the papers, and I try to make as many posts as I can on the EDC's destination Bolton page and on and I share it with the Bolton community, and create a Facebook event and usually put it on Nextdoor. But now that Kristen's here, maybe she could even distribute it even more than what I can, which would be awesome. So, I mean, I think that's about all I have to say. I'll send out an email later, and maybe, I don't want to create up a sign-up sheet, but if you can kind of commit to an hour or so. You don't have to be there the whole time. Usually I'm there the whole time, and Amy's usually there from like early to like, you stay to like the middle typically. Oh, you're on mute.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it seems like Sean Serrell usually drops by later, because his kids have soccer. I think actually I might have to bring my daughter to a soccer game in the morning, so I might need support in the morning. So I don't know if Sean Woods, if you're available that day or not, I'm not
Yeah,
sure. But
should be able. Let me just confirm with my wife.
yeah, sure. You don't have to commit tonight.
Yeah, the other two I wasn't able to do this year, but I always enjoyed going to them last year,
Yeah.
so I'd like to go.
Yeah. Great. And then like the biggest thing is just if the parking lot gets filled up, you just tell people to go park at Trinity. But we've been doing it enough years parking at Trinity Church that people kind of know to do that anyway. So like Amy said, it's pretty much run your own. It's just marketing in it and getting people there, letting them know it's going to happen. I don't have anything. Anybody else have anything to add to that? I'm all set otherwise. All right, moving on. So discuss the fall business social. So as you know, in April, I think we had like a Bolton business kind of social at Slater's, which was pretty well, I think, attended. We had like 20 people there or so.
Yeah, I thought it was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty good. I don't know that maybe tons of people knew about it, and there's not tons of Bolton businesses either, but so this year Amy was
I'll run it.
Yeah, great. So thank you, Larry.
I figured I'd make it easy on you, just cut right to the chase. Do
Yeah.
you want to do it first or second week of November?
Well, so
thinking
this is what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
The International is kind of having like a sort of business type social thing.
I heard about that.
Yeah. So and they offered like, Amy, maybe
Oh.
you can, maybe.
Yeah,
you
I can speak to that. So, Dan Gaffney, who, longtime resident, reached
Yeah.
out to me and said that the marketing or management at the International are looking to bring together the businesses to sort of, get people together, but also to give us an insight as to what they've done to the International since it's been bought, because they've done a lot of renovations and they have plans for, more.
Right.
Things. So they wanted to do it as a way to get the, businesses together, similar to like what they did when they were going to have that tournament, that live
Right.
tournament. But also to showcase what they've done so that we can kind of spread the word, because it is private, not a lot of people see it in the community. So they were hoping the business community could kind of spread the word. So that's where that came from. So, I mean, the invite went out, and I do, it did seem more international focused rather than a business networking, get everybody together. But I think their intention was both. But mainly to show local businesses what they've done, and so that we can kind of be a liaison for them.
So I think it is good if we just piggyback on that, especially if they have like food type stuff kind of.
Yeah, they were going to have like hors d'oeuvres and
Yeah.
cocktails. And I do think that we should support that, because I think it's great that they're reaching out.
Yeah. And we, and maybe Amy or Larry or somebody like either work with them and figure out how we can like I don't know, not rebrand it, but like also send out
Add
our own.
on to it. Yeah.
Yeah, add on to it.
Yeah, I mean, I supplied the email list to
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
so I can certainly do something where I don't know, I'll have to think about it, but something, to just say, in support of the international and whatever,
Do you know if they're going to send an email out, Amy, since you
they
supplied the
did, and you
business?
should have been on the list. So
I did not get
worried
it.
that you weren't.
Yeah,
It was-
I'm
it
not.
was a-
I mean, I get your emails, Amy, for
Well, that's all that matters.
for real
today.
estate. No, it is all that matters. Since when I moved, you'll be selling my house. That being said, I did not get the international one.
I'll double
was-
check the list. I'm positive you were on it, but
Yeah, no, I bet you anything you were. You're good at that.
maybe it went to your junk or something. I don't know.
I'm kind of looking. I'm pretty attentive.
And it was kind of an innocuous, like easy to miss email. That's kind of
Oh.
I sent
Yeah,
that.
that's it didn't come across as,
Uh-huh.
Bolton
And-
businesses were trying to get you guys together. It was a little bit more international focused. So
I think like the invite that you put together for the one we did in the spring was really good. It looked like a real like invite. Whereas this was kind of just like a bulletin, kind of like, oh, there's going to be this thing, but it didn't
Yeah.
really seem like you said Bolton
yeah,
business
so maybe
focused.
I can kind of take that and send it back out to that list and just kind of make it not take from them, but make it seem, this is something that E's
Right.
supporting.
Yeah.
It's a networking event at the International. And
Do you think, Amy, that the one we had at Slater's? Let's just call it that we got around 20. I think it's great about the international. That's all cool, but do you think if we don't get word out to other businesses, then it will be us in the international?
I think maybe.
and the members.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, which I still like piggybacking off it, Eric, but it will defeat the purpose of what we're trying to achieve. I think.
Right. Well, this is kind of what I brought up to Amy on the side is I think we need to like either do our own or push it with an envelope around it kind of. And
Yeah,
maybe,
I would rather do that than do our own because
Yeah.
I do think that their
Yeah.
intentions are to get the business community together. They just
Mm-hmm.
kind of went about it in more of a corporate way, I guess.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt
Yeah.
like very like a memo to the town.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Do you know when they were thinking of what date they were thinking on it?
yeah, it was October. I'll have to look at my calendar.
It's like right around the corner. It's like the 15th or something. I
Oof.
think. Maybe I'm
I think it was the 18th. Yeah, the 18th.
which day
I
is
think
that?
that's a Thursday night. Let me look.
It's
Oh, that's a Wednesday.
So it's
Wow.
2 weeks from
So that's 2
Wednesday.
weeks from this
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we'd want to get invites out too much before that. I actually can't. I'm pretty booked up on Wednesdays, unfortunately. And it was like what 5 to 7 or something. I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm
so-
good. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for doing whatever I can do.
Yeah.
I on Wednesday I can get up. Do you want me to go up to the international, Amy? Do you want me to? What do you want me to do? Tell me how I can assist you, and I'll be happy.
On the
to.
18th?
No, even before then, is there any need to talk to physically?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to think about. I just want to think it through of how to sort of send our own email out.
Okay.
To the businesses saying like this is a great opportunity to connect with local business owners and see what the international has been doing, just kind of
Yeah.
coming from us
Gotcha.
well, so that it seems a little bit more what people may pay attention a little more.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Like,
Good.
like I know I can't attend, so all the other members, whoever can attend, Larry, if you can attend.
Yeah, I
like,
can. Yeah, I'll be there.
Just basically,
Yeah, I think
it's
definitely
it's great to
support
talk
it.
to the businesses, and if there's any like feedback they have, like Pam, one thing I always say is like we're not like like a special permit granting board, but we're kind of like advisory, I guess. So anything, and we are like a conduit from the businesses to the town, I kind of think of us as. So any kind of like feedback the businesses have or anything, it's great to like feed it back into you, Pam, and Dawn. I don't know, like, or maybe even like to the planning board. It could be, if they say it would be great if we had, if it was like this, if it was like a tweak to a bylaw or anything, so it's good just to have an ear open to talk to the businesses.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Amy.
just because you said that and I was thinking about it, I want to say it before I forget again. Wendy Harrop reached out to see how she could get her bed and breakfast on the Welcome to Bolton sign. And I mentioned that we were meeting, so I don't.
Yeah, sure. That's
answer,
actually future.
but-
I have an agenda item for that.
Oh,
the
okay.
Welcome to Bolton
All
sign.
right,
So yeah,
then
we'll
I'll
talk about
wait.
that because that needs a lot of work.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just on this business social. So I guess so moving forward, we're going to try to piggyback the international thing. We're just over the next few days, we should probably repackage an invite.
Yeah, I'll put something together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even talk to Dan Gaffney and make sure that he's cool with us kind of like doing that, trying to boost the attendance. Like,
No, I think he would be fine with that. But
Yeah, he'll be
I'll
fine.
modify it.
He does my water system, so just on that alone, he'll be fine.
great.
Amy,
Okay.
whatever, and then we'll drop, whatever, just reach out, whatever you'd
Okay.
like me to do or help or
Okay.
I'm gonna let you handle the email since you've got that excuse me, part going, but for sure I'll be there. I have the 18th
Okay.
already marked.
Yeah, and then I think we
But
could
if there's
probably do
anything
another
prior-
one in, February or March or something like that.
Yeah,
Talk
maybe
about
the February, March one, maybe the Bolton Bean restaurant will be open by then, and maybe that would be a good, I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know they're not open now. The new part isn't open now.
I actually texted Amy. I went to Baba Sushi the other day, and I was like, it was like a Saturday night. There weren't many people there. I was like, oh man, we gotta like
Help them out, yeah.
hell. I don't know if they need help or if they want help. Amy actually and I have tried to help them, but they are not very.
Yeah, they weren't very responsive, but maybe now that
Responsive.
they've been open for a bit,
Yeah.
they're not so like crazy.
Yeah, but maybe that's an option for a business social as well.
Okay.
And like, okay, I don't really have anything else to add unless anybody else does. Sounds like we have a plan of action, so we'll move forward. So I have here for my next agenda item is discuss digital and social media, which is pretty open-ended agenda item, but basically we have Kristen now and so the Destination Bolton page, I've had a really hard time. I know that Kristen's great with, hammering. Basically, the more activity you have, the more followers and likes you get. And I have a hard time keeping up with it. I know Amy's on as an editor, and I'll add Kristen as well as an editor. We have over 1,000 followers. I think like 1,000 likes and maybe 1,200 followers. So whenever we do any like original content, not just when I like reshare other businesses posts, it's a couple hundred people see it, but like every now and then Amy will do a video or we'll have some like original news or something, and you'll get thousands of views. So I think we're doing pretty good. We just keep on adding to that because the more views and noise we can make, the better it is for businesses and stuff. And then also, as you all know, our webpage is super outdated. So I don't want to throw too much on Kristen's plate, but I could help out too. I know a little bit of WordPress. I think we need to make a decision at some point here, and maybe we can have one of our meetings just going through the webpage, and we can just spend an hour together figuring out what we have to do to update it. But it's super outdated, like just everything about it, the pictures, the info. I mean, it just really needs a lot of work to clean it up, almost to the point where it's like we either pull it down or fix it up. But like right now it's kind of like outdated. And even like I thought it would be great to add like a in-home business kind of tab, and then like figure out a way to have some type of form that people can just add their info and what they do, or like if you have like an Etsy business or something, just give us links so we can share it all on there, if there's a way to tie that all in. So there's a ton of stuff we could do there. It's just we haven't got to it. So
Eric, do we have any information on the traffic to that website? I'm wondering.
I
like,
do.
Is it a worthwhile effort if there's 3 people every other month going to look at it?
Well, so the thing is, nobody's going to it because there's no activity on it, right? And it's all old and outdated. But at one point, and maybe we decide that a web page is just really outdated, and that's kind of sort of my thought process too, is that just web pages unless it's to like actively purchase something, maybe it's not even worth it with social media, you know.
Kind of what
And-
I'm thinking. Like if
yeah,
we have
and
enough
that's
social media presence, what's the point? You
yeah,
know?
I mean,
Well,
that's,
here,
go ahead, Kristen.
oh, sorry. So I've actively not posted it because we had a conversation with Eric, and I know stuff was outdated, and so I steer clear. I do not ever post the website, and I could. I mean, I think a lot of times I always post the Facebook page because that's what we discussed because of the outdated material. However, I think if you update it, it's a beautiful website. I mean, they did a great job. You know, Lisa is
Mhm.
awesome. You know, so I think it's pretty. And somebody else had seen it and they said the same thing. I think it could be it's probably good to have a landing page, something, even if it's, anyway, I don't want to extend the meeting, but I would say keep it, but update it. And once it's updated, I can share it around and that might drive up the traffic. Cause right now I feel like it's sort of a catch-22. I can't share it, so it's not getting views. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying that I'm the only driver. Obviously it could be shared more by other people, but we've tamped it down because it doesn't have the right information.
Right.
And I would say one of the fastest ways to correct the information might be I could copy and paste. I have to look at it, but I feel like I could copy and paste a lot of the pages and then put them into one Word document and put it on edit mode. And that way we can all be looking at, you know, what's going on with each page rather than, I don't know. That's just typically the way I deal with edits with
Mhm.
people, with a group of people. So we could, you know, have a group of 5 people looking at this one document and then each take a section and just say, well, this is outdated. This is outdated. You know, and if I have a marked up document on my screen, then it's easier for me or whoever's a better expert at, you know, it depends on plugins, but I can do basic WordPress. I'm learning. I've done the basic WordPress on the Bolton Mass unofficial site. So I can do basics. But even if I can't, we could probably get somebody, but once it's updated in a Google Doc, then I can go page by page. It's just a more efficient way to do it and have all the people look at it rather than just have everyone try to scroll through a website and figure out what's here, what's there. Anyway, that we can discuss later.
Yeah, so we can even talk about the intent of the webpage. The original intent was to kind of like, it was for in town, but it was more so even to like market like Bolton as a business spot, you know. So that's kind of like how some of the like the information falls, like saying how many people pass through on 117. It talks about how the car traffic going through and stuff. So I mean, we could talk about the intent, and like I said, it would be nice to like have some focus on small and in-home businesses too, because that I think that would be nice. And if there was a way to interactively do that, like if they submit something and you know just some way like that would bring people in and be a spot to look at. So I mean, we could talk about the intent and what we want to do going forward. It is a nice page, like Kristen said. It's just, you know, I question, you know, the effort we want to put into it, and how much it would, you know, what if it's enough bang for the buck, you know, to do. So we could talk
do you
about that.
pay?
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. We can talk about it later. But
Yeah,
do
sure.
you pay per month? How much are you? I mean, is it?
They every now and then they try to get us to pay, and I say we don't have the money, and then they just kind of let us string along. So we're not paying anything.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Well, that's easy then.
yeah, it's just sitting there.
Who's they? Is it who's hosting
It
it?
went to like it was like the company that bought Lisa's company, 3 Media Web or something.
Oh,
But
yeah,
then it
okay.
got hosted. I might even have to touch base with her. To tell you the truth, like I haven't really like done anything with it in like a few years. Like at one
Yeah.
point, I was like Amy and I were writing stories. Like when a new business would come into town, we would write like a story, and then I would put it on there in the news, and then I would share that story with Destination Bolton, and all of a sudden we'd get like a few hundred views. And then, like Sean, you asked about tracking. There's like there's a whole tracking software where you could see how long people stayed on the web page, how many pages they clicked through. So whenever I posted a story and put it on social media, it would like burst up. and we'd have views and people would go through and look at it and then it would fall down. But because we didn't do anything with it, it's like web pages, you kind of got to keep it in people's mind, kind of. So it's like a whole thing, you know.
Right. You got to link to it every time you're posting on Facebook, I think, link
Yeah.
to the, you know.
Right. So we could talk about it in a future meeting, but this is all stuff that we could work on and that Kristen can help us with.
While we're
Um,
kind of on that subject, I had a
Yeah.
woman reach out to me who's opening a barber shop at 718 Main Street. She's
Mhm.
expecting to open in January or February of 2024.
So
And she-
718 Main Street, that's what?
Sean Winter's place.
Oh, okay. All right.
And she was wondering if the town or EDC does any type of announcement or ribbon cutting for new businesses. So it sounds like we have in the past, and this
Yeah.
is something we could work with her on. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done it in the past and we've gotten like Kate Hogan, the state, our local rep to come, and yeah, we've done a lot, but again, it's
you-
just, go ahead,
Are
Amy.
you able to share her information or?
I am. I don't have it with me at the moment, but I have it back in the office. So
Yeah,
I
if you
can,
could send that out, that would be great because I can contact her.
sure, that'd be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
what we have been doing at a minimum for people who are open to it is Amy has been like interviewing people and posting those videos on social media,
Oh.
which is like another thing that usually gets
Yeah.
pretty good views. So
Yeah.
Is there a date on that? Like, because the newspaper would probably be interested too, right?
a date for their open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
January.
know.
Okay.
Is that what you said, Pam? January?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she has a specific date yet. She's expecting sometime in January to open.
So that's good. I guess I should have put an agenda item here, and I'll do it in the future for like where you can just the planner's update of like new businesses that come through and stuff. And I don't have
Okay.
this on the agenda either, but we have like a welcome to Bolton letter that we tried to like get like a automatic kickoff somehow when new business licenses or people would come in. And we could talk about that in the future too, Pam, but
Okay. great.
just make sure that that's happening automatically. Like we had a letter that would go out and be like, welcome to town, we're the EDC, if there's anything we can answer or help, that type of thing. And where we talked about, we help with ribbon cuttings or, we can market any event you have.
Great.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a million things we could be doing as a committee, and just it's hard to get cycles out of people and stuff. So if we have like a willing committee to do stuff, there's so many things we could do. Like I was even thinking like the candle, like if you say like we have like an event where this day, like Saturday from 2 to 4, the EDC, let's all go shop at the candle shop. And I don't know if they have some like discount or something if you come within that time, just like basically like we do for the backyard Bolton, just like here's an event, just share it. We're all going to support,
Mhm.
what we have to like let people know is, everybody in theory likes these small shops and retail shops and businesses, but that business is super hard. And the only way that these places will stay open is if you support them and you don't just, go to Amazon and one click, a candle or something, we have to make an effort, as a community, we have to make an effort towards these small businesses if that's what we want. If we don't want the big box stores in town, which nobody wants, if you want these little community, small owned businesses, then we need to support them. So any type of event or things like that we could do, like, anything like, I don't know what you call it, a flash. I think like one of the local chambers of commerce had like flash sales or
Yeah, it's
something.
hard because there's not as many, like kitchen sink is like really the only
Yeah.
retail.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
even
so-
even like I said, Baba Sushi. I mean, everybody was so excited. Like I saw so many like posts about, oh, we're so excited about this sushi place. But I went there on a Saturday night and there was like barely anybody there.
Oh.
So I mean, it was, so we just got to support these
Yeah.
and so if anybody has any ideas or any way that, just
Well,
like,
I mean, we could do something like, like American Express does, what, a Saturday, support your local business, use your American Express card. Obviously, we could do something in the spring
yeah,
of support all, and maybe put a
Yeah.
banner. Can we put banners up and across Main Street or something?
I mean, we'd have to petition the Board of Selectmen and the Select Board for that, but like any type of event, yeah. I mean, like, and Kristen could probably speak on this. I mean, she does like the local business Saturday type thing, so we'd just be piggybacking on that. But I mean, I was thinking like, kind of like as a business highlight, like just like honing in on like a business and just being like, hey, this business exists, we need to support them. Connect the business to the community type thing.
Right.
Just so you kind of feel like responsible, almost like as a community, you feel responsible for this business because,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, we could talk about all these things in the future, but,
Yeah, I'll send out some ideas. I have a
Yeah.
few.
yeah, that'd be
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, and I think everyone has a shared goal. I'll try to talk with the newspaper is open to doing a business profile section.
Yeah.
So I think, I think I'll send out some ideas on a Google Doc for everybody.
I know, like in the past, I don't know if it's independent, but definitely the Clinton item, I tried to like do something like that, but they're like, well, it was kind of like we're ad based. So it's like, it was kind of a weird gray area between free advertisement versus doing that. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'd have to work that out.
Yeah, it's tricky. I think I'll ask her. She seemed open. I mentioned the idea because I thought of similar. I want to do something on Bolton Bean, the expansion, date night.
Mhm.
You want to highlight that for a Q&A. And I asked her, I said, first of all, she needs reporters. Secondly, if you can do a Q&A with a business, it helps the business. And I don't know that something like that. Some of this borders on news. So when you have an in-house brick and mortar business like Candle, the kitchen sink, or Bolton Bean, or I feel like that kind of borders on news because it's such a big part of the community. So if you have a ribbon cutting at the general store, things like that, I think, I notice a lot of her advertisers are like Acorn Trees, which are out. They're bigger groups. Like I'll ask her though. I can't speak for her, so I shouldn't say
Yeah.
anything really at all. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's some things that sort of borderline on news, ribbon cuttings, that type of thing that we could get. And I told her, so what I do with Cindy is that if I can get her to post it online, like she does a lot of print, but if I can get her to post a story online, I tell her that I can share it. I can share it to the community page. I can share it. And I mean, online in a free
Yeah.
manner. So
Yeah.
a couple times she'll do these online articles for me, and then I can share them to the high school, share them to wherever. And so I'm going to see, I'll see what she says basically, and then I can get back to you guys.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
That's awesome. So, okay, I think we can move on. I mean, like in future meetings, like we can hone, I'm kind of like, just since it's our first meeting in a while, I'm kind of just shooting through a bunch of things, but we can really dig down in a couple of topics in the future. But moving on, Amy brought this up, is discuss the welcome to Bolton sign. As you know, we have that sign as you come off the highway. And it was to kind of be like a wayfind. It was part of like this whole wayfinding study we did. We had some grant that, somebody did this whole wayfinding thing, which to kind of like standardize the signs throughout town. I don't know if everybody remembers before that welcome to Bolton sign was there. It was like all these like hodgepodge of like signs pointing to different areas, the International, Slater's, and different things. But so we got this welcome to Bolton sign, which I think we got a grant for. So I don't know that we paid for it. But underneath you could, that there's like a list of farms and there's a list of retail. And I think there's still like Fotini's is on there, which hasn't been there for a year or so. And I think in order to be on that sign, we charged people like $50 a year. And so Pam, you'll find probably a ledger for the Welcome to Bolton sign somewhere where people have been paying, or maybe you have like a few $100s somewhere. I know it's there somewhere, it exists. So you have to look through some of your records, but I think we need to, like Amy was saying, who did you say asked to get on it?
Wendy here.
Oh, Wendy. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so a couple things, like figure out who's on there that isn't even exist anymore, which Fotini's. And then I think there was kind of like a waiting list potentially, but I don't even know. It's basically, it got dropped, so somewhere in your records, Pam, hopefully you find some stuff about the Welcome to Bolton sign. And that money was supposed to be used towards maintenance. So like during the summer, it gets pretty overgrown. I think the DPW recently has been pretty good about kind of mowing and trimming, but maybe even we could do some landscaping around it. I think we need to figure out how to get like if there is new business, we need to figure out how to get a new sign. It was actually
You should ask Wendy to do it. Say, if you want your name on the sign, you got to do the landscaping, because she's really good at that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, so she's actually decorated that for the holidays before, if you remember. So
what's the process, I guess, of changing it?
Well, I mean, so previously, I don't know if we had people sign up, but basically they were paying $50 a year. Like I said, we had to go like buy the sign, which I kind of forget the business that we bought them from. So that's another step that we have to like kind of relearn. And then we have to just figure out what's their inventory, like how many spots we have open, who we can fit there. And like, it was kind of like a wayfinding thing. So you could see there's like an arrow pointing which direction to go to. So if somebody was coming to Wendy's bed and breakfast and they weren't from the area, I'm sure they'd be looking at their phone. So it's probably just a nice to have, but it was kind of like supposed to be like, kind of like how the Cape has like kind of like standardized kind of wood type signs that are pretty, I guess. But it is a nice sign coming into town. The other thing with
you don't know who, because I mean, it seems like it'd be pretty simple to just change them out, but we need to know who to contact.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody could replicate the sign too if we go to like a sign vendor.
Like maybe I could ask Frank Patterson who he uses, because I think his signs are really nice.
Yeah, we just have to like give them probably whoever does it, just kind of make it as close to this as possible.
All right, I will start working on that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
All right.
And then same thing, like, nobody has to like sign up for it now, but like, we have that ledger of money, like, if there's some landscaping or if we can get people to volunteer to do it. I mean, like, just to figure out that whole thing. The other thing, Pam, actually somewhere stored in the bowels of the DPW somewhere, there was a second sign that was going to be as you get off the other highway exit. But the problem is that was like state-owned land, kind of in front of the Kane property there. So for some reason we couldn't put it up. So we do have this Welcome to Bolton sign. I know we have that Rotary come in the other side of town near the high school. I remember one select board meeting, they talked about having signage, a welcome sign. I mean, we may even have to ask Randy if that sign still exists. I don't know if it's at town hall or if it was there. There was like a second Welcome to Bolton sign stored somewhere. So I don't know if that's something that we could
I'll ask around. Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically like a similar sign, like, so it would kind of like be a theme. So, okay. I mean, I don't really have much else to add, except it's just another thing that we kind of lost sight of and dropped the ball on. Essentially.
I'll bring it back around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is really nice. Oh, and the other thing with that sign is there's like or they used to be, I mean, it's still there, I guess, but there's a solar powered light for at night. So it lit it up at night and it was really nice. And then after a couple of years, it broke. I haven't gone in there to dig in, but I don't know if maybe like the DPW just cut the power line or something. I don't know what happened, but it just stopped working. So maybe we need to, like, with that money, hire like a handyman to go out there and investigate it. And Pam, maybe if you do find that ledger, you can let us know what's in there. Like,
Yeah, I was also thinking our viewpoint system now can do renewals. If we make them pull a sign permit, it would do
Yep.
an automatic re-notification on an annual basis. You can program it to do that. So
yeah,
let me look into that program and see if we're able to use it for that specific sign.
yeah, cool. So yeah, that whole thing needs to get cleaned up. So that's it for that. And then, so the last item is just setting up meeting days and times. So if we want to just stick with the first Monday every month, that puts us at November 6th, and then December.
Required to do them virtually, Eric?
No, well, so I think we could have public meetings now.
Yes. We can.
I'm just thinking we always get together. What is it? Like, when do we do the wreaths usually? I was just thinking maybe we could
around December 6th.
Yeah, so if we just do that December meeting in person and get the wreaths done at the same time, just a
Good
thought.
idea.
Efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we're just working though. We could definitely talk about that. Pam, another thing we do, and we might need your hand with, is every single year we do kind of like a business sponsored wreath program for all the poles along Main Street. So I don't think it would require much of you, except kind of like, basically people will send in checks to the town hall and you just kind of collect them and put in a list, and then we kind of get the wreaths and we have the DPW put them up. Maybe we'll talk about that at our November meeting. So what did I say that was? That was
November 6th.
November 6th. Is November 6th good for everybody? That's not like a holiday. When's or anything? That's nothing, right?
Veterans Day might be that Friday, but
The 3rd
probably
or the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the 6th is fairly safe. I don't know. Does it seem okay with everybody?
I think so.
Yeah, and then I said December 4th, but maybe we
We may have to do December 2nd or 3rd for the wreaths like we did last time. I think last time we did it at Amy's house. It was a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, we could figure out which day we want to do. But let's tentatively plan, and let's just stick with November, December. I guess we can do the new year at December, but let's plan for November 6th and December 4th to be our next meetings. If we have to
Okay.
change it, we could, but does that sound good with everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Are we still doing 7:45, or are we doing? Did we do this later for
Yeah.
some reason?
So Pam, you have another meeting on Mondays? Is that?
I can't, I have to bring my daughter somewhere on Monday evenings and I can't
Yeah.
get home until 7:45.
I'm fine with 7:45 personally, but if you guys want to do another day, that would be earlier.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
by me.
fine. It's fine.
It'll
That's good.
probably be quicker too once we're meeting monthly again. This one was a little longer since we haven't talked in the last 4 or 5 months. So
Yeah. I still need to run to the grocery store, so
God, Eric.
I think I need to end this.
Can I
but-
just ask, like,
Yeah, sure.
who's going to be able to help at Backyard Bolton on the 14th, just so we kind of know?
I'm pretty confident I will be able to, but I just need to confirm.
Okay.
I can't.
You can't?
Count me in for now, and I'll let you know otherwise.
Yeah. I know my daughter has a soccer game from like 9 to 10:30, so I'll be able to be there from 11 to close.
Okay. I should be able to help, my typical, 8:30 to 11.
Yeah.
I don't know what I have for real estate in the afternoon, but I
Mhm.
can plan on that. And then I can certainly help.
On Friday.
Friday night,
So-
I have to work at the football concession stand at 6, but it gets dark kind of early now. So if we met, at like 5 or something, I could certainly.
Yeah,
do that.
I could do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, my kids have been wanting to go to a game. Maybe that'd be a good time
Yeah,
to come home.
yeah.
Come home early
Definitely.
and
There's not many home games, so they should definitely
Yeah.
do that.
yeah, come home early and do they sell out or can you just show up?
No.
No.
I mean, a lot of the kids just kind of like run around. They don't sit down or anything. So
Yeah.
it's really no.
Okay. All right.
It's a good time.
Yeah, sure. All right, great. I don't have anything else to add. I just threw a ton against the wall, so hopefully we hopefully we
We're
can.
meeting again, though. I think there's
Yeah.
good things to be
Yeah.
done. So
Sure. Yeah, there's a ton we could do. We just have to.
I'm glad you're on board, Kristen. It was nice to meet you, Pam.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Just before
And-
we log off, I just wanted to mention the Master Plan Steering Committee
Sure.
developed some goals for the master plan, and they're going to be conducting a community forum on October 23rd. I don't know if the EDC's been involved in that, but I'd like to distribute the goals to you. And if you're unable to attend the community forum, maybe we can, you can provide input, especially regarding the economic development session, to an email, and you can also attend the forum via Zoom. So I'll get that information out tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be great. Definitely a few of us should probably attend.
Is that at the, where is that?
It's
It's
going to
ju-
be at the elementary school.
Okay.
Would you say it's on Zoom too?
Yeah, it's going to be a hybrid type of meeting, so you have the
Oh.
option to participate remotely or in person. We're encouraging in person, but realize it's
Yeah.
difficult. Yeah. So.
I know that Amy and I were part of an economic group, a subcommittee under the master plan steering committee, but it seemed to like disappear.
Right. I was on, yeah.
Oh yeah, you were on it too, Larry.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seemed to like just kind of dissolve somewhere.
I mean, I really couldn't be on any other committee, so it's
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I have
There you
zero
go.
I
time.
understand.
I have zero time.
So I can distribute just for your own input, and you can even review it
Yeah, that'd be great.
on your next meeting as an agenda item. There's an existing
Yeah.
conditions section for economic development, and then the goals chapter as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. One thing I was interested in is the town conducted a survey on businesses, and we kind of like gave some input and updated it, which was good. But I never really saw the results from it. And I think the results were delayed because the surveyor had some issues or something, but I believe it's in now. So actually, if you could dig that up and forward it to us, that would be cool.
yeah, I can do that. It's also posted on the website. They
Oh,
have their
okay.
own website through the Master Plan Steering Committee, and there's a link to a specific master plan website, and the survey results are all posted on that
Oh, okay.
page.
Um,
But I can forward the link as well.
Which I guess that was a good
This-
example that even if we're not on another committee, we should probably be following it more, because what the master plan comes up with is kind of like the course that we're setting for the town for the next 15 to 20 years. And so if we have any input as the EDC, it would probably be good to get that in there.
Yeah, and you don't need to attend the meetings. You can always provide input via letters that are produced or topics that you discuss at your regularly scheduled meeting. We can just forward it to the master plan committee. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
okay.
Yeah, so maybe another thing we can dig into in the future. But so October 23rd, you said, right? So if
I did.
anybody
I'm sorry. We're finalizing the flyers, and I'll distribute them to all the committee members.
perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, we could share it too.
Great.
That'd
Sounds
be
That'd be
great.
good.
All right, so can we, I guess, motion to
Motion to
adjourn?
adjourn.
Yeah.
Good
second.
night.
All in favor? All right,
Night.
thanks.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Right.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye.